Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm your host, the notorious H.I.M, and I am back with another Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle for you. This is the last time using this team, so I will leave it in the description below, but thank you so much, guys, for the support on my last video and support the channel in general, so I definitely appreciate it. I'm on my way to 200 subscribers, so definitely if you haven't done so already, please rate, comment, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. This Brooklyn boy is out here spreading some love, so do the same and hit that subscribe button. But like the last time, bro, unfortunately I didn't walk away with the W with the last battle, so I'm gonna see if I can redeem myself here today and see if I can get some work with this team. This team, like I said in my last video, is very reliant on the hazards, very reliant on the shenanigans of Donphan and Masquerain here. So I got myself an uphill battle. I mean, my opponent I got from the Discord server, you know, he's definitely running some threats here. So I got to be very careful with some of the mons that he's about to use. Out comes this thing here, this double-bladed fool here, bro. I really don't know what this thing wants to do, but obviously I am focus Sash. So my play, I have to go for the stun spore. I know this thing is typically faster than me. He goes for a big bitter blade here and knocks me down to the Sash. Obviously, I know I can't live another. Thank God I had the focus Sash there, because this would have been a dead Masquerain. Now that I got the stun spore off, I know that I will be faster, but this thing could definitely pack that priority. So now I'm deciding, you know what? Let's go out here. Like I can very easily go out into Crowley here and get some damage off. I'm expecting him to go for the Shadow Sneak, because what other play would he have, right? Like there would be no reason to not click that. So out comes Crowley, the Houndoom here, and he goes for the Shadow Sneak. So I get the correct read here, and he goes for the Shadow Sneak. Now I could go for a big Dark Pulse, right? Like nothing really wants to take this Dark Pulse coming off of a Houndoom here. But just looking at his mons, he's got a couple of mons that really wouldn't appreciate this. So I'm thinking, you know what? I probably should just go for the Dark Pulse, right? Like nothing else wants to take this. If this wants to stay in, be my guest. So I go ahead for the Dark Pulse, and then knocks him down to a pretty sizable amount of HP left. He only got probably like 15 to 20%, probably less than that. So I go for another Dark Pulse. Obviously, if he gets a Parahax right now, that'd be great for me. That'll work out perfectly in my favor. So that's exactly what I'm gonna go for, bro. Like there's really no reason for me to not go for a Dark Pulse here. He decides to save this thing. I'm not too sure why. It is paralyzed. There's really not much this thing can really do. But out comes the Obsidian, the Garganako, or how Pokeabe says, the Garganaki. So I really don't know what this thing wants to do. True say, I'm gonna decide, you know what? Let's go out into the Don. Let's go out into Tyranitar here, because if anything, I can start bulldozing, I can knock off, I can go for my own stealth rocks. I'm really predicting him to go for the rocks, and that's exactly what he goes for. So this battle, I'm definitely getting the reads right. You don't always get it, but you know, you got to take it when you can. So I go ahead and decide, you know what? Let me get stealth rocks of my own, because if I do that, I know that the double-bladed mon can't come back in. I can't even remember that mon's name, but it can't come back in because of the stealth rock. So he goes ahead and withdraws the Obsidian, probably predicting me to go for like an Earthquake or something like that. But I decide, you know what? Let's get these stealth rocks off, bro. Like there's really nothing is gonna really appreciate these stealth rocks. And now I have to make a choice, right? Because if he goes for a Sleep Powder, I really don't want that smoke, bro. So I'm gonna decide, you know what? I could very easily stay in here, you know, like that would be amazing. I'm gonna decide to go for a big rapid spin here. If he wants to put this thing to sleep, that's totally fine. Like true say, I'm really not afraid. If anything wants to go to sleep, it would be this. He goes for a big energy ball, so that's totally fine. Obviously, you know, it doesn't knock me to sturdy, and I am faster, so I would be able to, you know, do some work against this thing. If this thing decides that it wants to go for like a sleep powder or a spore, right, something like that, most likely spore. I think this thing doesn't even get sleep powder. I think it does get spore though. So I'm gonna go for the Miss Cleo play, right? That would be the best thing for me to do in this battle, is just to go out into Espeon here, just so that it can clean up and put some pressure on this mon here. Because if he goes for the spore, it's not gonna affect Miss Cleo. Miss Cleo is a full-blown psychic, bro. She reads the tarot cards, bro. You really don't want this smoke. He goes for another energy ball, and truth say, it does a pretty sizable amount of damage to Miss Cleo, but it's not too much. So I'm not really afraid of this thing. Obviously, I could very easily go for a psychic. Like, really, nothing wants to come in on a psychic here. Anything that decides to come in will get immense damage. So I go for a big psychic here on this thing, and true say, I go ahead and get this thing up out of here, bro. Goodbye to this this mushroom here. You're not blowing any dust in my face today. So I get a big KO off, and now I'm in a pretty commanding position, right? Like, what comes out here? So he decides to bring out the Corviknight. And looking at the battle, bro, like, you know, I don't think this thing wants to deal with a lot of my mons that I have here. So I'm gonna decide, you know what? I could probably make the play into, you know, into Tantor here. That's probably the best move here, true say, because if anything, he can just go ahead and get some Rocky Helmet damage. I'm really not afraid. If this thing wants a defog, I can get a knockoff. I can get my Stealth Rocks back up, right? I'm really not afraid of this thing, so I could very easily go out into anything, and I know that I have the Houndoom in the back, so there's really no reason for me to not, you know, bring in Tantor here, and that's exactly what I go ahead and do. I go for the big Donphan play. If he wants to go for a defog, fine, bro. Like, I'm really not afraid of this thing going for a defog. If you want to go for a body press, you're gonna get damaged, so you can do whatever you want, bro. Like, it really not gonna affect me, bro. So that's exactly what I decide. You know what? Let's go for a big knockoff here. Knockoff is gonna be probably the most beneficial thing. So that's exactly what I do. I go for a big knockoff. He goes for the big body press, and I live it. So I'm obviously fully defense, max HP, max defense. You know, Tantor gonna live pretty much anything, and I smack him right in the face. Get those Rocky Helmets right off. But it does end up killing the Donphan. So that's unfortunate. You hate to see that. Now I have no way to get rocks off. So I have to be very careful here because I could very easily just, you know, come in with, you know, Godzilla or come in with Crowley and pressure things. You know, so I have a lot of mons that I could really, you know, come in here. I mean, I'm not too afraid of the body press. Like, it's going to do a lot of damage. Like, don't get me wrong. It will absolutely do a lot of damage to me. But if I'm able to get off, like, a Stone Edge or, you know, a Stealth Rock or something like that, he's really not going to do nothing. So I decide, let's go for the big Tera, bro. Like, I'm Tera ground on this T-Tar, bro. So even if he were to body press, it's not going to do a lot of damage. And I'll be able to get the Dragon Dance off and be a threat to every other mon on his team. True say, I'm in a pretty commanding position, bro. So, like, nothing really wants to come in and deal with this thing. So I decide, you know what? Let's get up a Dragon Dance. Now I'm at you know, a pretty good attack, pretty good speed. Nothing really wants to deal with this thing. He goes ahead and gets a big, you know, body press off, but it doesn't do too much because now I'm the Tera ground, right? So, like, it's not gonna do too much to me. So now I can make a choice. I'm just gonna go for a Stone Edge. I don't think at this range he's gonna be able to live a Stone Edge here, so I'm gonna go for it. I really have no choice, bro. Like Stone Edge is gonna do the most amount to him, and it's probably gonna be able to cap it from this range, bro. Looking at his health, I don't believe that that the Corviknight is gonna be able to live this. Like, T-Tar is an amazing threat, bro. He's been a threat since Gen 2, bro. Like, since this thing has come out, bro, this thing has been amazing, and I love Tyranitar, bro. Tyranitar is one of my favorite mons of all time, bro. So I go for a big Stone Edge. That's my play 100%. I have no reason to not click the Stone Edge. So I'm really just wondering what my opponent wants to do. He could very easily go for like a Roost, but he's not going to be faster. So even if that's the case, I'm going to eventually get a crit. I'm going to eventually be able to do something. So you have to make a choice here, bro. Like, what are you really going to do? Like, this Corviknight really isn't the answer. So he does a smart thing and he goes out here. Like, true say, I couldn't really see him doing anything else. Now comes out the Garganacl, bro, and he gets a mean Stone Edge, bro. You're not gonna live another one, bro. So I could very easily go for an Earthquake, and nothing wants to deal with that, bro. Like, if you want to bring back in the Corviknight to block it, you certainly can, bro. But true say, I'm not afraid of you, bro. Like, this Garganacl is not gonna stand in my way, bro. I'm gonna go for a big Earthquake. If you want to switch out, be my guest. I go ahead and knock this thing all the way out, did not get a chance to do any of its Salt Cure shenanigans, and this is definitely one of the mons that I struggle with the most when testing my teams, bro, because you have to understand, my whole shtick is, you know, kind of using underused and rarely used mons and bringing them up to OU. So when I'm facing off against these mons, I struggle very hard with some of these mons. So if I'm not set up right, or if I don't have the right strategy in place, it's gonna be a nightmare situation for me, and I really can't take that. So out comes the Corviknight. He understands the position that he's in. He knows that he can't deal with this thing 1v1. So I very easily could have just went for another Dragon Dance, bro, and that would have pretty much locked everything up. It would have locked up everything. Nothing else would have been able to deal with this thing 1v1. So I decided, let's go for a crunch. If he goes for a body press, that's totally fine. I know I can live. With the Tera ground, like, I'm really set up here, bro. Like, I'm not going to be able to, you know, take much damage from the body press. So another crunch, it's over for this thing. So nothing wants to take a crunch. I'm going for it, bro. Like, I could very easily just live the Rocky Helmet damage. I'm not afraid of taking that extra damage. The only thing that I'm really afraid of, True Say, is probably the Golden Go being Choice Scarf. So True Say, I probably should have just got up another Dragon Dance on that Corviknight. That would have probably been the best scenario for me, because now that I don't have the next Dragon Dance, I know that I don't outspeed a Choice Scarf, you know, Golden Go. So here comes the Double Blader. I don't really know what this thing's name is, but I'm gonna go for the Earthquake, bro. You can Shadow Sneak if you want to, but I'm gonna go for a big Earthquake here. So down goes Buster Blader here. This thing didn't have a chance to do much in the battle, and T-Tar is showing you exactly why he remains a threat, bro. All these years later, probably like 20 years later, this thing is still an amazing threat. So what can you do against this big Tyranitar, bro? Like, I'm taking everything, bro. Like, you're not gonna be able to do shit, bro. So out comes the Golden Go, and this was the thing that I was afraid of the most. True Say, like, I really don't know. If he's Choice Scarf, he's gonna outspeed. So I have really no choice. I go for the Earthquake because that's really my only play. There's really not much that I could do here. He goes for the Tera, and let's see what he Terras into. If he Tera Flying, that's a great play. Get him Tera Ghost, bro, which is great because now he's gonna get like that extra boost on his Shadow Balls, and that's probably what he's gonna go for. He does go for it. He does go for the big Shadow Ball, and I think it may be enough to kill the Tyranitar. Yep, it does go ahead and kill the Tyranitar, so you hate to see it. Tyranitar was able to do a pretty sizable chunk from this guy's team. He poked some pretty massive holes in this guy's team. So, you know, that pretty much shows that he is Choice Scarf, right? Like, now I can come in with Mother Goose here and try to do some damage, see if I can get off like a big, you know, sucker punch on this thing. And he can very easily go out, like, right? Like, he only has the Golden Go and the Glamora left, so he decides to withdraw, which is a great move on him because obviously I was packing the sucker punch. So he goes ahead and he blocks that by just switching out here, which is great. Obviously, I'm predicting him to probably go for like some type of move here, maybe like Poison or Toxic Spikes or whatever the case may be, but I'm just going to go out into Iris here. There's really no reason for me to keep this thing in. If I can go for a Sticky Web or something, that'd be great, but you know, I'm not expecting him to be able to live. So he goes ahead and gets me with the Power Gem, knocks Iris all the way out, and True Say, you hate to see it, but that's pretty much done everything that I needed to do for the battle. There was really nothing much that it could really do. At this stage in the game, bro, like, I can pretty much clean everything else up with Miss Cleo. Miss Cleo is is gonna be enough here to clean this thing up. So I'm gonna decide, you know what? I'm gonna go for a big Psychic here. This thing does not want to appreciate a Psychic. Obviously, I don't think it would be able to live, but this is great, right? Like him switching out into the Golden Go here. This is perfect because I'm just gonna be able to get some much needed damage off of this thing. And I know this thing is Choice Scarf, so I really don't want to lose, you know, my Miss Cleo here. So I decide, you know what? Let's go out. Let's go out into Crowley. Even if he goes for the Shadow Ball, I would resist it. If he goes for the Choice Scarf, you know, Make It Rain, I would resist it as well, being a Fire type. So this is my play, bro. Like, there's really no reason to not click this. He goes for the big Shadow Ball, and it does a lot of damage, bro. Like, look at this thing, bro. Like, not effective hit, right? Not very effective, but resisted hit. He gets the special defense drop. So if I had not been Scarfed here, this would have absolutely been able to kill this thing, right? So I go for the big Dark Pulse, knock this thing all the way out, and nothing else wants to deal with this, right? Like, he's down to his last mon. Like, obviously the Glamora is all he has left, and I know that my Miss Cleo here is going to be able to clean this thing up. So all I really have to do is just go for an attack, right? There's really no reason for me not to to go for an attack with this thing. Everything I have left is going to put me in position to win this battle. So I decide, you know what? let's go for the Dark Pulse. Let's get some damage off, because if he's Focus Sash, I can break the Sash right now. And if he decides to go for the Power Gem or the Earth Power, that's totally fine. He goes for the Earth Power and kills Crowley. You hate to see it, Pup goes down, but that's totally fine, because now I can just come in with Miss Cleo, the Espeon, and clean the rest of this battle up. This is pretty much a GG for my opponent, so I definitely appreciate the battle. And I will say right now, if I haven't done so already, guys, please rate, comment, subscribe. We are on our way, well on our way to 200 subscribers. Let's help us get us there by subscribing to the channel, rate, comment. And if you guys would appreciate more videos throughout the week, just let me know. It's been your boy, the Notorious H.I.M, and I'm out. Peace!